had begun her career of piano teaching, giving lessons to the neighborhood kids and playing for Sunday school. She has continued both these activities until the present time. 1931. Listeners heard the first broadcast of Little Orphan Annie on the radio. Women's athletics were finally approved by the International Olympic Committee, and Congress made the Star-Spangled Banner our national anthem. Geneva graduated from Darby High School and was accepted to Westchester Teachers College. Geneva's medal was tested when it was suggested she became an elementary teacher rather than a music teacher, because as an African American, she would find a difficult time getting a teaching job in her career choice, music. She told them she wanted to be a music major, and that's what Geneva became. But because of her race, she was barred from living on campus in the Old Maid dormitory. Her next barrier-breaking activity was to be the first African-American student selected as the honor soloist for her senior year Christmas concert, singing "O Holy Night." She was honored by Westchester University this year for having been that very special student. 1936. Gone with the Wind was published. Franklin Delano Roosevelt was elected to his second term. A gallon of gas was 10 cents.
Bring it back.
And Geneva Henderson graduated from Westchester with that BS in music education, Bachelor of Science in Music Education. In 1938, Geneva's first union produced her first son, James Hill. 1944. World War II had broken out and was continuing on. Bing Crosby recorded "Swingin' on a Star" on Decca Records. Batman and Robin comic strip premiered in newspapers. And the Metropolitan Opera House hosted its first jazz concert, featuring Louis Armstrong, Benny Goodman, Lionel Hampton, and Artie Shaw. And Geneva started teaching at Darby Township Junior High. She taught art and history, as well as music, and she continued on that faculty until 1965. 1958. Elvis Presley went into the Army. CBS Labs announced the development of the new stereophonic records.
Wow.
And Geneva became Mrs. James Norwood. Yay! The next 15 years brought great changes and challenges to America. The Civil Rights Movement, desegregation of schools and public places, the Cold War, the assassinations of President Kennedy, Martin Luther King, and Robert Kennedy, and the Vietnam War. By 1965, the Norwoods had built their house on Grandview Avenue and moved to Williamstown. Geneva was hired to teach music in Monroe Township. She was invited by one of her students to attend a Sunday service at the First Presbyterian Church of Williamstown. It wasn't long until Geneva was singing in the choir and watched as the organist played. Soon, she was taking organ classes at the Wurlitzer Company in Philadelphia. And of course, later, she taught for them. 1968, Geneva became the organist choir director for First Presbyterian Church of Williamstown. And at this point, her story becomes her legacy here. And Geneva, that legacy, is contained in this book that has been put together by members of the church, their fond remembrances of Geneva, her dedication, her inspiration, And I think that everyone here just wants to wish you all the best, and they give you love and thanks for everything you've given them.
I mean, seriously?
I just had no idea that this party was going to be so wonderful. I didn't sleep last night. I don't think I'll sleep tonight. Thank you so much. Especially thanks the Presbyterian Church. Especially if I start naming names, I know I'll forget somebody. But I have to say thank you. She worked so hard. And everybody, and even my son and his daughter-in-law was so wonderful to me. And I just don't know how to express myself. And I'm so happy to see people who came from California to wish me a happy birthday. And one of my students, and then he told me how I made him count. Count. He didn't believe me. But you do, there's certain disciplines to music that will really make it easier for you to get through life. And make it better for you. If you don't believe me, ask Bob Green. He does fabulous work with the kids. And I tell you, I am so blessed. If I start counting my blessings, I run out of numbers. So I thank you so much, and I thank you for putting up with my clumsiness, everything, all of my impediments. Say it aloud.
We haven't noticed them.
There are two things that I kid my mother about. I usually tell her it takes a village, and she is truly a rock star.
I'm a rock, but I'm not. I just don't know how to thank you. This has been a wonderful party and a wonderful time. And I tell you, if you want a loving church, if you're looking for a loving church, come here. Our pastor has made such a big difference. And since I've been coming here since 1965, and there was always some skirmish. I don't like them. I don't like them. I don't like them. I'm not going to plot with them. I'm leaving. And right now you don't hear any of that. Everything is kindness, and can I help you? And you know that they have to give me plenty help. I can't tell you how much. So, thank you all for coming. And thank you
We need a light though, right? I don't have a light.